17 days. That's all that's left in Joe Biden's presidency. At this point, your job is quite simple. Stay out of the news. Don't make big decisions and help your successor move in. But Joe Biden has been up to a lot more. Reports say that he is discussing airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites. It dates back to a meeting with Jake Sullivan, who is Biden's national security advisor. The meeting is said to have happened a few weeks ago. Sullivan presented Biden with options for a potential attack. And how did Biden respond? He decided not to approve any military action. Since then, he hasn't changed that position either. But Biden's team is not convinced. Some of his officials are more hawkish on Iran, including NSA Jake Sullivan. They feel it's the right time to strike. Iran's air defenses are weak, their proxies have been dismantled, so the regime is less likely to escalate after a strike. This is the best time. Then why is Biden hesitant? A, because he is a lame duck. If he attacks now, he will light another fire for Donald Trump. And B, Biden is not convinced about the evidence. Just think back to 2020. Biden promised that he would not allow Iran to make a nuclear bomb. Now there are two ways to do that. One is to revive the nuclear deal. The second is to blow up Iran's nuclear sites. Biden promised the first, to revive the deal, but he failed. And if he wants to do the second, that is blow up their nuclear sites, he needs evidence. Evidence that Iran is actively building a bomb. Now, in public, Tehran has denied such plans. The regime says it does not have nuclear ambitions. But American officials remain wary. Last month, Jake Sullivan suggested that Iran could change its nuclear doctrine. Listen to this.
What about Iran's nuclear program? And here, you can look at the public statements of Iranian officials, which have changed in the last few months as they have been dealt these strategic blows, to raise the question, do we have to change our doctrine at some point? It generates choices for that adversary that can be quite dangerous, and that's something we have to remain extremely vigilant about as we go forward.
So the U.S. is worried about Iran's moves. Reports say Iranian officials conducted some suspicious research last year, some computer modeling and metallurgy, both linked to the nuclear program. This prompted the White House to send a private warning to Iran. So these concerns are not new. They have existed for a while. What's changed is Iran's position. The weakening of its proxies has left Tehran vulnerable, and a vulnerable regime could make the nuclear gamble. That is what Washington is worried about, because Biden's Iran legacy is already in the dumps. Under him, Iran got closer to the bomb. In 2021, Tehran began enriching uranium at 60%. Now, to put that in context, 90% is weapons-grade uranium. They were 60% in 2020. If you reach that level, the 90% level, you can make a bomb. Reports say Iran has enough enriched uranium to make 4 nuclear bombs. And how long would that take? The enrichment will take around 1 week, but making a warhead could take up to 1 year. It's still very little time for a nuke. It's yet another example of Biden's foreign policy failures. The question is, how will Donald Trump handle it? Last time, his Iran policy was clear: pressure, pressure, and more pressure. That's what Trump did. Indications are that he will pick where he left off. Maybe even take things up a notch, since Iran is weaker right now. And Tehran knows this too. Look at what their foreign minister said ahead of the new year. He said, and I'm quoting, 2025 will be an important year regarding Iran's nuclear issue. That's a veiled warning to Trump. If you increase the pressure, we will build a bomb. That's essentially what Iran is saying. And Trump won't mind that. It fits into his maverick strategy. He won't hold off on risky moves like Joe Biden. Last time, he ordered the strike that killed General Qasem Soleimani, arguably Iran's most important military leader. So expect the tensions to escalate once Trump comes in. I guess the Iranian minister was right in his assessment. 2025 will be a big year for Iran. In what way? Only time will tell.